Hi guys, what is up? It's girl Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. You see this bag, you know what time it is. Let's go over my October empties. We have quite a few, and contrary to my beliefs of being a hater, this is going to be actually overly positive because this month was full of products that I have already used before and have used many of before, and just some great new products, at least new to me, that I thoroughly enjoyed. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, starting off with brows, this is the Rare Beauty Brow Gel. I don't think I have to say much. If you guys are caught up on my empties videos, you'll know that this is in almost every single one of my empties videos. I also am almost done with my next victim, and then I have two more in the restock bin. I have this in my brows today, and I have very stubborn brow hairs. This lays them down and gets that laminated look so easily. It doesn't get gunky. I love how it's clear, and I love how it has a flexible hold. This is a 6 out of 5. Next up is the Morphe Nano Brow Pencil. I absolutely love this pencil. Dare I say a dupe for the Kosas Brow Pop Nano? I do dare. Oh great, now the sun's coming out. Now you come out. Anyways, this has such a skinny tip, great for hair-like strokes. This type of brow pencil is really good for doing a more natural brow, or you can build it up to be a little bit more dramatic. This one is in the shade Latte, but I previously used Cold Brew, and I feel like both look good on me. The only thing about the Morphe one, though, is that there is less product in here than the Kosas, and there's so little product in here that I was shocked when I first ran out of it, because I was like, ain't no way that this already ran out. I think I go through one of these a month, and that's not even me doing my makeup every day, but a Kosas Brow Pop Nano will last me, I want to say, like 2 months minimum. So take that into account if you're debating between the two. Yes, this is cheaper, but this has less product. Giving her a 5. Next up is a lash glue, and I feel like this is one of the first times that I've finished a lash glue. Well, finished meaning it dried out, but this is the Duo Active Lash Adhesive. This is quite possibly one of the strongest hold lash glues that I have ever tried. I love how it has a brush tip. I really hate when lash glues come in that squeezy tube. If you use this glue though, once you put your lashes on, you cannot fidget with them. You can't take them off and then re-stick them on, because it's just that heavy duty. Now, you guys know that I absolutely love my clusters. I prefer a lash cluster, but on the rare event that I do use a strip lash because I've run out of clusters, I will use this glue, and especially if I'm going to Disneyland or if I know I'm going to be out for a long day. I've used this on strip lashes that I've worn during the Incredicoaster, and that shit goes fast. My lashes be flapping in the wind, but you know what they're not doing? Coming off my face. The reason why it's called Active Lash is because this was formulated for people who are active. So if you wear false lashes to a workout, slay. Couldn't be me. I'm just gonna keep using this for my Disney days. 5. All right, next up is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Benefit Professional Super Setter Setting Spray. This has got to be bottle number 3 or 4 at least. It's gotta be 4 minimum. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me yap about the setting spray so much at this point, but this is such an amazing formula. It's not overly drying, but it doesn't leave the skin feeling sticky or overly dewy either. It's the perfect happy medium. I love using this in between my makeup layers. It's one of those setting sprays that you can spray as much as you want, and it doesn't break up the makeup. It doesn't get gross and doesn't make your makeup pill. This has a special place in my heart because I did use it on my wedding day in conjunction with the One Size, but this one was truly doing a lot of the heavy lifting in my opinion, because I layer this in between every makeup step, like I mentioned. And I've heard the argument of, oh, setting spray is so expensive, like why would you waste it in between all those makeup steps? It's a setting spray. You're gonna get more setting power if you layer in between and not just putting it on in one thin layer at the end. Do what I say, layer your setting spray, and layer this one because she's a 5 out of 5. All right, next up is an empties first for me. I have a pack of lashes. These are from Kiss, and they're in the high bun style, and I absolutely love these for when I'm doing a more dramatic look, aka when I'm dressing up as Elphaba from Wicked. Elphaba only uses high bun lashes from Kiss. The perfect lashes for fighting the wizard and herd mentality. I love this line from Kiss. It's called the New Natural, and the band on these, they are practically non-existent. If you are someone who struggles with putting false lashes on, or if you just think the band at times is really thick and it's hard to maneuver on your eyes, definitely check this line out. It's super affordable as well. What I love about this style is that it's wispy and dramatic at the same time, so you can really play around with it and see which looks it can pair well with. Personally, I think it pairs well with a more minimal look and also a more dramatic look. Just so versatile. I would say for me, it gives more length than it does volume. Of course, it gives a little bit of volume, but I would say it's more so for the length. You get 4 pairs in here, and with every pair, I think I got like minimum 10 uses out of them. You can probably get more if you're more gentle and you actually take care of them, but I don't take care of my lashes. I'm pretty barbaric with them. 5. All right, and my last makeup empty is a mascara. I have not finished a mascara in God knows how long. This is the Judy Doll Iron Mascara. I also wore this on my wedding day, albeit it was on my bottom lashes, but it stayed put through all the crying. This isn't even advertised as a waterproof mascara. This is from Judy Doll, which I believe is a Chinese brand. The Asian brands just really have it down when it comes to mascaras for Asian eyes. Who would have thunk that an Asian brand would come out with great mascaras for Asian lashes? And honestly, not just Asian lashes, but stick straight, stubborn, short lashes. This is your girl. I'm wearing the Iron Mascara today, and how, you may ask? Because this is empty? I have another one. Thank you, Jenny. She gifted this to me. As I was saying, I'm wearing the mascara in my lashes today. Normally, I would have to curl, apply mascara, wait for it to dry, and then curl again to keep the curl up. However, we only have to curl one time before mascara application with this mascara. It's such a little thing, but it just makes all the difference. And you guys know that I am super picky with my mascara wands. So the fact that this is an iron mascara wand and that is so skinny and oh, woo! The design is truly innovative. I think it's kind of hard to see on camera, but in the rod, there are kind of these little grooves and divots that go in. So it's still coating each lash, because the traditional mascara wand, it has the bristles that go up. This has the divots that go slightly under. It's just the tiniest microscopic shape. Like, you can barely see it with the naked eye, but those grooves hold the product inside, and it just makes coating each lash so easy. And because the product is held inside the little divot, it doesn't smudge everywhere. I know everybody who has used mascara at least once in their life knows the struggle of applying it, and then you move or like you sneeze and you just smudge the mascara all over your eyelid or your bottom lash line. That rarely happens with this mascara because of the wand shape, and for that I thank you. And I bestow upon you a 5. All right, moving on to skincare, I have 2. Let's talk about this guy first. I don't really think I need to say or talk about it much, to be honest, because this is in almost every single empties video that I do. Of course, I'm talking about the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Moisture Barrier Cleanser. I've now run out completely. I did not have a backup, and let me tell you, the amount of face washes that I've tried in the month of October, because I just didn't want to bite the bullet and I wanted to try something new, the number is insane. And if you guys watch my other video, which will probably be up soon, of rating all the products I tried in October, you can see me talk shit about a lot of face washes. I have them on my shelf right now, and I got beef with all of them. Almost nothing compares to this face wash. It is so good. I've gotten my husband to use it, and now he loves it as well, and I honestly don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, because now I go through it twice as fast, and I have another person bugging me to buy more. The trade-off is that he's so girly pop and life is so fun with the girly pop husband. Anyways, I'm not gonna say more about this other than she's getting a 5. Actually, I went on to 6. All right, the only other face skincare empty I have this month is from Summer Fridays. This is the Gentle Reset Daily Exfoliating Pads. Funny story about these. When I first tried them, I swore that it made my face feel super dry. I don't know what it was about my skin the last 2 months. Maybe it was stress, maybe it was the weather changing, I have no idea, but I was getting a lot of dry patches, especially underneath my eyes, and that's unrelated to this because I didn't use it on my under eyes, but I digress. It was just out of whack, my skin. I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. So I used these. My face felt dry the next morning, and I was like, huh, I wonder if it's because of the exfoliation pads. And I thought it can't be, because it's supposed to be super gentle, and I normally love Summer Fridays skincare products. So I stopped using them, the dryness went away, and then I thought, you know, maybe I should just try them again to make sure it wasn't this product. This was the only thing that I changed about my routine, and my face started to feel dry again. So I was like, what the heck is going on? For me to feel dry is insane, because as you guys may know, I have oily combination skin, so I'm always feeling greasy. I stopped using these, and at the time my father-in-law was in the hospital, so he wasn't getting up to wash his face. He wasn't practicing the greatest personal hygiene because he's literally in a hospital bed. So I gave him a few of these reset pads to just use while he's laying there. I thought it would be super simple, and it was. He loved them, and he actually asked me for more. I had another box, and I just gave it to him because at the time, I didn't like him. He's laying in the hospital bed using this pad on his face, and granted, he has not washed his face in a few days because hospital. The amount of dead skin that came off because of these pads, I wish I would have taken a picture because it was crazy. It was at that moment that I said to myself, I gotta try these again. So I did, and no dryness ensued, which I thought was really interesting. And now the Summer Fridays Gentle Reset Daily Exfoliating Pads and I, we're good. We're chill. Now, I did not finish a box of these on my own. Nate also has really taken a liking to these, which again is a blessing and a curse, because yeah, he's taking care of his skin and he's exfoliating, which God knows that he needs it. But now that we're out, I have to listen to him pester me about when I'm getting more. And I always have to balance between repurchasing because we love it and not repurchasing and just using what we have in my stockpile, because I am a beauty creator and I get a lot of beauty products. But this man, just once he has his eyes on something, he's like, I must have it. Running out of the face wash and running out of these in the same month, been an endless battle between us both. In terms of the formula, it's really gentle, which I think is why Nate loves them so much, because he's very sensitive and eczema prone skin. The pad itself is pretty big. I wish I had one to show you. I should have done that, honestly. The circular pad, one side is smooth and then the other side is bumpy. So there is a physical exfoliation element as well as the chemical one. These are individually wrapped, which I kind of have a love-hate relationship with. I think at times it can be very wasteful just ripping into a new pad every day if you want to exfoliate every day. I would much prefer if they had a tub of these pads. Summer Fridays, you should do that. And still keep the individually wrapped ones for travel, because basically only like the individually wrapped element for that reason. Great for on the go, but when I was using these at home, I just felt so bad ripping into a new one. It made me not want to use them every day, and these are gentle enough to use every day. So I come out with the tub, please. I'm gonna give these a 4.5. Ooh, okay, I talked way too much about those damn exfoliation pads. Let's talk about body care. Gonna start off with this one. Yes, another one. Another one bites the dust. The Naturium Glow Getter Body Wash. I have another one in the shower right now, and we have another one in my stockpile. We keep this shit on deck, okay? Whether it's buying it for ourselves or hoarding them at a Naturium event and forcing other people to give me their bottles. Just a hypothetical. We are never without this body wash in this household. It is so good. I love this for shaving because it has such a thin consistency. It's plush still. It's an oil gel hybrid. Great for my oily skin, great for Nate's sensitive ass. This is one of the only body washes that we have found to be both cleansing and hydrating, and I feel like that combination is pretty rare. 6 out of 5. All right, next up is the KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub from First Aid Beauty. Not only is this a physical scrub, it also has 10% AHA, so you get the chemical exfoliation aspect in there as well. The 10% AHA is made up of glycolic and lactic acids, so this is going to work really quickly with the combination of all the exfoliants in there. It's one of those products that you instantly feel and see a difference after the first use. I primarily like to use it on my arms because I do have a bit of KP there, but I also really like to use this on my legs a day before shaving because it just gets all of the ingrown hairs out. What I really appreciate about this body scrub is that it doesn't leave a weird film on your body after you use it. A lot of body scrubs have like that moisturizing component to it, and it just feels gross, like it's leaving a film on your I was about to say face, a film on your body. This one leaves you squeaky stupid clean. It does say it's safe for sensitive skin. First Aid Beauty is really sensitive skin friendly, but personally I feel like the level of physical exfoliant in here is pretty rough compared to other body scrubs. I guess it all depends on who's doing the scrubbing, because I be in the shower like scrubbing myself raw. So if you're watching this and you have really sensitive skin, just take that into consideration. Maybe just use less, but regardless, she's still getting a 5 from me. All right, and the last empty I have is for hair. This is the Orbe Gold Lust Nourishing Hair Oil. This is actually a mini, and honestly, a mini is all you need because this lasted me so freaking long. And the mini is already expensive, and the full size is even more expensive. Don't get the full size. This is the most plush hair oil I have ever used. Truly worth the money in my opinion, because this is unlike anything else I've tried. It's a thicker oil, but it doesn't weigh down your hair. It locks in the moisture. It revives the shine with your hair. I feel like for me, rating and reviewing hair products is one of the most difficult categories because for the longest time I wasn't washing my hair every day, so I wasn't using hair products every day, and the consistency was already thrown off by that. I feel like it takes the longest time for me to finish a hair care product, actually to even get to the halfway point of a hair care product, because I'm not using it every single day. Skincare I use every single day, so I feel like I go through that a lot quicker. But hair has just always been one of those categories that it just has never really called to me that much, and every day I resist the urge to buy another one. That's another personal thing that I have in the hair category. When I find something that I really love, I just want to hold on to it, much like Nate and his specific skincare products. But for hair, I think it's because it's such a saturated market. I mean, all beauty is saturated, but hair is just so, I don't know, there's only so many products that you can come out with, like shampoo, conditioner, hair oil, heat protectant. Like, it's such a condensed beauty category in my opinion. Because of that, there's a lot of overlap in products, and because there's a lot of overlap, a lot of them tend to just be kind of meh to me. I'm indifferent about a lot of them. So when I find something that is just truly so good, I just want to hold on super tight to it. So I'm really itching to purchase another one of these, but I think I'll be able to resist because I need to finish a lot of the other hair oils that I have. But just know I'm gonna be thinking about you every day. 5. All right, guys, that is it for this empties video. Honestly, I don't know if I should keep doing these because I feel like my empties are just getting so repetitive. But these are some of my favorite videos to film, so I'll probably keep doing them. Let me know if you've tried any of these or if you want to try any of these just based off of how I talk about these. And with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good, and I'll see you guys in the next one.